In this video, I'll be explaining how to defeat every single boss inside of Evomon, because nobody really explains how world bosses actually work, and this is going to give you guys a definitive guide to defeating every single boss, no matter what stage of the game you are in. And it's going to be a lot of general tips and tips for specific bosses, mainly the main ones up until probably like mid-game, where you just need a couple of general tips, and stay until the very end of the video because I'm going to show you guys how you can defeat the last boss in the game, the King of Thunder, in literally 1 minute while solo with a single Evomon. This is actually crazy, so let's just get straight into it. First of all, for the first boss in Evomon, it should be relatively simple to defeat, as this guy, he doesn't really have that many like defensive stats. I guess he is kind of defensive, but I mean, it's the first boss, so you really have to defeat him for the tutorial. Let's just move on to the second boss straight away. Now, as for the second boss that we have arrived at, this guy is going to be a little bit harder to defeat. But if you take a look at his typing, it is going to be pure water type. And therefore, for the second boss specifically, I recommend you guys any kind of grass type. The grass type from the first world works as well. But honestly, this guy is not too hard to defeat as well, because even if you do have the fire starter, which is the starter that I started with, it should still be relatively fine to defeat him. But if you guys are really struggling, actually don't get a grass type just yet, because there are many other grass types down the road that are going to be much better for you guys to get. So just power through it for this one, but the next boss is where I actually have a couple of tips for you guys. Heading over to the third boss inside of Lava Crag, this boss in this world is going to be a very notable and memorable world, because the Lavaites are going to be some of the best guys in the entire game. I'm pretty sure they're like top 3 Evomons in the entire game. Don't know why they spawn in World 3, but there they are. And for this boss, for the Pixie King, what I recommend you guys do, if you guys find it a little bit scary, is to go to Petal Pond and catch yourself a water type Clampip. I have myself a Clampip right here. I use them for the early game, and Clampip is not just for this boss, but Clampip is 4 times effectiveness into Lavite, and you will need to grind up a whole lot of Lavite, trust me, because you need a lot of Lavites to get yourself a shiny. And to get yourself after getting yourself a shiny Lavite, then use a King's Ball or Prismatic Ball to get yourself a shiny SSS tier Lava Rock, or Lavite evolves into Lava Rock. So there's that. But yeah, you guys can get yourself a Clampip if you don't have a water type starter. That is perfectly a-okay, and you can easily use that guy to defeat the Pixie King. Now let's move on to Amber Acres. And in Amber Acres, a lot of these types are weak to, well, they are like mainly grass types, so they are going to be weak to stuff like fire type, stuff like flying type, and ice type. You guys won't have access to ice type unless you guys did buy the 99 Robux deal back in Petal Pond, where it gives you guys a SSS tier Frostlet. But for the Datumnius King, over here, it will be relatively simple to defeat, as if you guys did follow my advice and grind up in Lava Crag and got yourself a triple S tier Lavite and prioritize leveling that guy up, because you are going to be using this guy throughout the entire game. Trust me, he is so good. Then you will likely have yourself a fire type move such as Fire Strike, and combined with the insane attack stat from this guy, you are going to be defeating this boss like it's cheese. Moving on to Shiver Snow, there is going to be an ice type boss. So again, it's the exact same rule. You can use the exact same Lava Rock or Lavite that you did have, as fire type is going to be super effective against ice type. And there is going to be one final boss I do want to make note of, which is going to be the Flying Territory King of Flying. And from here, I'm going to give you guys some general tips to defeat these bosses, because many of you guys might be stuck on later on bosses, which you clearly don't have the levels for, or your team might just be a little bit too weak. So here's how you can actually basically cheese all of these bosses, even all the way up to Thundercliff, and defeat it solo. So what you are going to need to do is you're going to need a couple of specific Evomons. Now you can get one of these or a combination of these that will help you through your entire journey and help you especially with bosses. Number 1 is going to be Lava Rock. Lava Rock has a move Counter, also known as Fatal Rebound, as it did change the name. Fatal Rebound, one hit, counterattacks for 1.75%, or no, 1.7 times the damage received. And you are going to be taking a lot of damage from these bosses, as they have incredible stats. So, therefore, you are going to need a move such as Fatal Rebound to actually do damage back to them. And let me just show you guys exactly like how much damage just one of these guys can do to the King of Flying. So I'm gonna challenge the King of Flying right here, and I am going to equip Lava Rock. And you know what, I'm just gonna show you the rest of these in a live battle scenario because it's probably easier for you guys to see it this way. But we are going to need Lava Rock, and not oh wait, I forgot to equip the move. But anyhow, not only does Lava Rock have that move, I'm just going to use Stone Edge for now, but Lava Rock has the ability of Sandstorm Eruption. And Sandstorm Eruption is so good because it applies the Sandstorm effect on the entire battlefield. Now let me just show you. Right now it says Sunny, right? No effect. I'm going to use this and take a look at the field. Boom, it changed to the Sandstorm effect. And what happens is that it inflicts percentage damage to all non-ground and non-rock type Evomon. And as of now, the two hardest bosses in the game are going to be the King of Flying and the King of Thunder, both of which are not ground or rock type. So this is going to have an incredible effectiveness. And just take a look at how much damage my abilities do compared to how much damage the weather does. Stone Edge, let me just use Stone Edge. Boom, 100 damage, right? The weather does 60 damage. That's basically a 60% increase. I mean, if I use like Fire Strike, it's probably going to do less. Like Fire Strike 66 and weather does 60 damage. That is an insane amount. So you definitely need the right weather to wither down the opponent. Next up is going to be Tarragon. I actually used Tarragon to cheese my first battle against the King of Flying, and how I did it is basically, I used, well, you can't use Leash Seed against these bosses as they're resistant to that kind of effect. But what I did was I just stacked a whole bunch of Seed Bomb. And basically what happened was that I have incredible bulk on Tarragon. I'll show you guys after this battle. But I just stacked Seed Bomb, combined with the weather effect. Look, the opponent is losing 60 HP per turn, and even though my Seed Bomb doesn't do that much damage every turn, it does 35 damage, I'm just out healing my opponent's damage because this guy is just so incredibly tanky. And even when I had this guy at around like level 70-ish when I first defeated him. What I did was I got in a party of 2 people, then I had the other guy tank for me. And on my Tarragon, I just kept on spamming Seed Bomb. And at this point, now I'm unkillable. I mean, I'm healed to full HP every single turn. He's taking a lot of damage. It's just really good. Next up is going to be Wisp Puff because of Hallucination and Poison, which somehow works on bosses. Now, oh my goodness, I got one tapped. Let me just exit here and show you guys though, because against bosses, you are going to need percentage max HP damage as much as possible. Poison inflicts 2% of max HP damage capped at the end of every turn. Decays by 1 stack per turn, and this is going to whittle down your opponent, because for some reason it works on bosses. Or maybe not on this boss, but I know it definitely worked on the Petal Pond boss. I tested that one out before the video. So you're definitely going to need some kind of poison, and as well, Hallucination inflicts 3 stacks of Psymark. And Psymark, it does 2.5% of max HP damage, and it persists while switching out, which makes Hallucination such a good effect. You're going to put this on any kind of boss you come across, and now they're just going to keep on taking more and more damage for at least 3 turns. But still, max percent HP damage is exactly what I need. Now notice how this is 2%, this is 2.5%, and the Sandstorm Eruptions 6%, which is a lot higher. But I mean, this there's 5% off of the Bluebird, also known as what's the evolution called? I forgot what the evolution is called for a second. But anyhow, Bluebird has the ability Wing Combo, which does 5% of its missing HP. Now, missing HP is not as strong as max HP, but still, it helps the opponent to lose more HP faster and faster. 5% of missing HP is going to be doing wonders. When the opponent is at below 50% HP, it's going to keep on doing more and more damage, and Bleed is just going to be so good here. Combined with like the insane speed of this guy, I mean, like 112 speed, this guy is level 90, this is a massive difference, and yet, this guy's speed is 127, this guy's speed is 112, and it's not even evolved. I'm telling you, this guy is so fast. He's gonna come in, he's gonna use a couple of gusts, he's gonna do insane damage. He can even inflict paralysis, so I'm not too sure if that works on bosses. And it doesn't work on the King of Thunder, which is the main boss in the game, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you can use Gust, you can do damage to them that way. And not to mention Tarragon, you gotta stack Seed Bombs. I mean, take a look at my Tarragon, okay? Look at my talents first. Do you see this? I have increased HP, increased double defenses. This guy is taking 0 damage from anybody, combined with the fact that I have steady nature, which makes me have more HP, and with my artifacts aren't that good. Well, my equipment is not that good right now, but I mean, this one buffs my HP, defense and special defense. This one buffs my defense. This one doesn't really do anything for me right now, but I'm just getting so much defenses. And not only that, if I also get the legendary trait Prime Form, which makes it so that I take 70% less damage while at full HP, this guy is taking absolutely zero damage from anybody. You're just tanking it all, and while at full HP, combined with the built-in healing you have from growth, you're just going to be constantly full HP, taking no damage. So as long as you have a single like weather effect to help speed it up, for example like Sandstorm Eruption, even without a weather effect, you could solo the boss of Archapex using Terragon. And I think I actually did that with a level 90 Terragon. I'll pull up the clip right now. So this is me soloing Archapex right now, but it's nothing compared to another person that soloed Archapex in a single minute. So this is from user Lavinia. Shout out to Lavinia here for letting me use this clip. But basically, she used an evolved version of Mudbud and completely soloed Archapex in a single minute. I mean, this is just absolutely crazy to look at, right? How do you even do that? So yeah, subscribe. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next video.